Hi guys. Okay, so there we are back. And let's do this. So, 0 calories Coke, right? Okay, so just so you know, if some lunatic has to comment on that. Yu Yang, hi Thomas, hi, how are you? Well, I'm fine. I was in the gym today. Right before I started streaming, I was with my daughter on a playing ground, so nothing much done today. It's a Sunday anyway, so can you hear me good? Is it too loud? Is it too music? So I'm going to stay in yellow with my voice, so you can hear me clear and loud. What we're gonna talk today about is I have done some notes about well, the idea that Jeet Kune is everything, and basically everything what works. There you go. So we're gonna start with that. You can hear me clear and loud. Nice. That's nice. Sorry. Yeah. Well, we had a bit drama the past 3 weeks when I was in holidays. Some guys are complaining that I'm criticizing them, you know, but I mean, if it's objective critique, so it's what it is, right? When I did a last stream, we did analyze that guy from Metrolina Martial Arts showing kicks, apparent Bruce Lee kicks. With ton of mistakes, so okay. I mean, so we corrected that in our stream, so people watch this. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I mean, I don't really care. So, Jeet Kune Worldwide is a mess anyway. Yeah. Let me put out our famous editor. And maybe we're gonna start. We're gonna just start, okay? I think it's this way. Should I make this bigger? I'm gonna make this bigger. Which one is this one? So let's make it way bigger. So maybe like this. Okay. So here. And I'm gonna move myself. This is the webcam, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna move myself here. So you can read everything. I guess that's better. So okay, well, let's start. JKD is thing, right? JKD is everything. What works? So, what does this even mean? What does this even mean? JKD is everything, or everything what works? Oh, also, I heard I'm pretty unfit. I look unfit. There you go. I was in gym today, so remember, I'm 6'6" almost. I'm almost like a head bigger than most people. So I always look kind of thin, you know, because I'm just big. And I drink Coke with no sugar. From time to time I also eat sugar, so But at this moment, I'm cutting down weight. So I want to go down to, let's say, 92 kilo. I'm 90 now, 99 now. I have lost about 4 to 5 kilos in last 5 weeks about. And I'm gonna cut down another 7, maybe even 9 kilos. So I go down because, you know, I'm so big. And when you're so tall, you're naturally heavy. You don't even have to be like overweighted. You're just heavy. I'm the way I'm just like now. I'm 100 kilos, and you know when you train, when you kick, when you punch, and you want to go to run, and you are heavy. Well, you're gonna eventually feel these things on your knees, on your back, and everything. So I want to cut down the weight where I used to be before I had my surgery. So. I can kick faster, I can move faster, so everything. Tommy Noble, XXY guy is the same size as, yeah. I mean, you can't go to a guy who is clearly have his problems with, you know, weight and everything, and criticizing a guy who is basically normal looking and criticizing him for not being fit. It doesn't make any sense. So, okay, JKT is everything what works. So the idea behind this is basically everything what works. You can train everything what works. So you train everything because essentially everything. My weight in pounds, what is that, 2020? At this moment, 20 pounds, or 2025, something around that. 100 kilo, just convert 100 kilo to pounds. But I'm gonna tell you now. It's easy. When you have a Samsung phone, you can just convert very easy in the calculator. So where is it? There's the mass. There's the mass. So kilogram to pound. Just a second now. Come on. Why can't I? Okay. So 2020. Yeah, 20 pounds. 220 pounds. That's basically exactly my weight. 220 pounds. And well, so let's get back to the subject. So everything what works is JKD. So the idea that everything what works is JKD is basically what you have in JKD concepts line. So you train what you want, and multiple martial arts, because you know anything works at some point. Then you can train everything and pick the things you like the most, basically, or the idea, well, at some moment this could work, so I train also this. Okay, so training. So let's go here. Training. Let's go like this. Training multiple arts. So we know what those arts are. You know, basically Thai boxing, Wing Chun, still Wing Chun. Even Bruce threw it away. Wing Chun, Thai boxing, maybe kickboxing, classical boxing. Nowadays MMA, so they just do MMA, or and also all sorts of Filipino martial arts. And with all those techniques like hubad, lubad, dubad, or gunting, you know, gunting, because gunting is very effective. I mean, for God's sake. I wanna see hubad working really in, because they love so this kind of sparring and full speed and full force sparring, working in gunting. Okay, how you gonna hit the biceps and the other guy, oh, I can You know, instead of aiming to the chin or to the throat or to the eye, you aim to the biceps. That's the textbook indirect approach in fighting. So training multiple arts, and then pick what you like. Pick what you like, or use what you think that works. But the thing is, I said it before. Let's say you swing at a guy. You're not even martial artist. You just swing at a guy, like a non-trained person would do. And you hit the guy, and you knock out the guy. And by doing that, you almost stumble over your own feet, and you go to the ground. But it worked. So you hit the guy, and he went KO. Okay. So this clearly worked. So do we now take this and train this because it worked? Or in some situation this is going to work? Let's go back to chain punching, okay? So the most argument when I say what chain punching is a weak technique, naturally, it's a weaker than a boxing hook or a boxing straight because there's not as much body weight. You're standing square, and for what other reason you would need 6, 10, or maybe even more punches to attack the guy to even have some kind of effect, okay? But then you have guys where they say, well, there are situations you can use this. Okay, maybe there are some situations you could use this, okay? But we have to talk about what's the alternative to chain punch. And could you use this alternative in this set scenario? And also, could you replace the chain punch with this alternative that can be used in any situation that chain punch could be used, okay? So, because Jeet Kune, if Jeet Kune is everything, then there's no Jeet Kune. Okay, so that's there. Then karate is Jeet Kune, Taekwondo is Jeet Kune. Okay, because you can't argue against that. Yeah, you cannot argue against that. Even training some total nonsense from, like a little crazy guy makes his own martial art up in a basement. Technically, then that's also Jeet Kune, okay? Because Jeet Kune is everything that works. But then you point out techniques that are clearly, not working in a resistant scenario, and then the same people get mad. I'm just saying, gunting, okay? That's prime example of a technique that you shouldn't even think about. Yeah. Same as kicking people to the leg instead to the groin. Why would you do that? Okay, so you have to define what works. Okay, so if this is true, Jeet Kune is everything what works, but you have to have some kind of definition. What is that? What works? Okay, so you have to define what does this mean? This works. Does it mean it works after trying it out 2 hours on opponent, or does it works after just hitting the target and that's all? Okay, so Q Young, I have held one time kickpad for Thomas, and I'm 85 kilo. He just kicked me into the air. And remember, since Q Young is in my class, but I had lower back problems, and I had a surgery during he was there or before. I'm not sure. So I was kicking him, certainly not with full power. But you know, I'm just heavy and huge. Okay. So yeah, 2.2 pounds to a kilo. That's how you convert this. You can roughly do 1 kilo is 2 pounds, and then add another 20%. So, Anthony, I also like I also like to write. Love your channel, and you're right. Jeet Kune is off its rails. I found myself seeking classics that originally make JKD. So yeah, the funny thing is, what made JKD? You can read on the Santos page that Bruce used, I don't know, praying mantis and whatever martial arts to construct JKD, which is totally nonsense. I mean, how do you imagine? Let's say you have karate, you have taekwondo, and then you have 15 different martial arts. How did he put this together? What's the idea? I mean, what's the claim behind this? He took one kick from praying mantis, and one punch from this art, and then the other kick from that art, and the hook from boxing, and the straight from Wing Chun, and he just put this together like a Frankenstein, and it works. That's nonsense. I mean, for sure here, he was he did research on all those arts, but that's not to say he just took techniques and put them together to Jeet Kune. Okay, it's a huge misunderstanding. And then when you write it down on the page, then it says Jeet Kune builds on simplicity and everything. So then he goes actually into the principles, into the principles of Jeet Kune. But before he says Jeet Kune is just a basically mixture of those different martial arts. It used to say there like 27 different martial arts, but it's not. It doesn't say anymore. He changed that. Probably because it's laughable. You cannot hear a logical and credible counter-argument against original JKD. There's no logical. There's only the only arguments or counter-arguments you hear against original Jeet Kune are not logical. They are based on emotions. Okay, so people tend to get emotional about their arts. Like if they are the founders of those arts, who cares, man? You should not care about a company if you have a Samsung phone, and then you know, like, or iPhone, and somebody does criticize Samsung, then you go off mad. That's nonsense. Just stay objective. The groin kick is far more better than the kick to leg. There's no discussion about that. You shouldn't even think about kick people to the leg. Just aim to the groin. Simple as that. Finished. Okay. So definition, what works. So now we have to go to JKD principles. Okay. Principles. Okay, because they define what works for real. Okay. And we know all the principles by the time now. Dennis Lauk, training multiple arts leads more and more to quantity in training. Also, the thing that someone that is disciplined can pick up things that he and she like, increases the chances of unprincipled training. So the thing is, if you just, the idea, you train in your school many martial arts, and then you decide your students to pick what works. I mean, this is like, imagine doing this in medicine. Okay, so it doesn't make any sense. Especially in fighting, where usually your life would depend on this. And you treat this like some kind, well, I don't like blue, I like red more, so I go to red. Despite blue works actually, okay? Quicker and faster, okay? So, yeah. JKD principles. Okay, so what works? It has to go fast, okay? So, definition, what works? Okay. It has to work quick. Okay. That's our definition what works. If it works quick, is good. Doesn't work quick, bad. Okay? So that's why you wouldn't go for a joint lock. Doesn't work quick. Okay? Takes too much time, too much energy, and your opponent has time to pull off a knife or his friend. Okay? So what is this that works quick? So you need to understand the things that work quick. Something that is complicated, has more movements, takes more time, doesn't work quick. Okay, cut down the movements. Okay, to simple movements. Yeah, now we are. So that's first principle, simplicity. Okay, the simpler something is, the quicker can it work. Okay. Also, there are always exceptions to the rule. So you can sometimes see a guy who does turn and salto, and then he kicks the guy to the head and knocks him out, and this takes only 2 seconds, you know. But you know, how many times you can replicate that? Okay, not many times. Let me say hello to everybody first. So, Sun 209, Anthony, hi, Tommy Noble, hi, John Paul, hi, Peter Off, or hi, Q Young, hi, Nick 777, hi, Rafael Miguel, hi. How do you feel about RAT? I don't know what it is. Wolfgath, hi. So, basically, everybody. In the chat, at least. So, guys, you can ask questions in the chat. So I'm going to go through the questions from time to time. Q Young, the same hate argument to those people who don't want to believe Jeet Kune stuff. If Jeet Kune stuff couldn't work against a guy with adrenaline rush, wait, you should train the stuff that can take people out. Doesn't matter the adrenaline or you know. So I mean, again, we had that subject last time. So adrenaline, how does an actual attacker gets adrenaline? Okay, how does he gets adrenaline? But I mean, he is the one who is attacking. If you stand before 3 or 4 guys and they're threatening you, you are gonna probably be the guy who's got adrenaline output. Okay. Okay. So this adrenaline stuff is it's excuse with no scientific basis. Why did Bruce say, "I can't teach you, just help you explore"? That's true. You can't teach people. You can show them, and they need to explore this to understand. But that's a, you know, the philosophical approach of Bruce. You know, saying something it sounds great, you know, but basically you teach people by showing them. At the end of the day, they have to understand this, and by doing it themselves, you can understand it far better. Tommy Noble, a finger jab has no high percentage of landing compared to more flashy techniques, jumping. Yeah, that's exactly irony, right? So you do a spin kick or something, and then you land, and finger jab goes straight to the target, and it's harder to land. Oh, my background. Okay, so let's see what's the problem. There you go. I need to get a different one. So, Dennis Lauch, if it works in a fight, is as fast and efficient. Okay, it works if the fight is as fast and efficient over as possible, plus if the techniques and tactics can be applied to many different circumstances and not just in one specific scenario. That's exactly right. So what he said, what it means is, if you have you have a technique and it works only in small scenarios or small number of scenarios. Okay, so let's say a joint lock. Joint lock works only if you're close enough and the guy has his hands in the front and maybe he's grabbing you. So then you can grab his hand and joint lock. That's basically the only scenario you can do. Or you go towards him and you grab his hand, so you create this distance. Okay, so but a attack to the eye works there also, but attack to the eye works also from a longer distance. Okay, so it doesn't depend. It doesn't have to be that specific scenario to in order to work. Okay, so you can use finger jab almost in any scenario, any. Somebody wants to grab you, somebody wants to punch you, somebody wants to kick you. Okay. That's basically the nature of striking, because finger jab is striking, basically, right? So, okay, it has to work quick, so it has to be simple, right? So, if simple is not enough, okay, so simple movement can also be a indirect movement. It means a kick that, you know, you turn around and you kick with your like huge roundhouse kick is technically a simple movement, okay, but it's not direct. Okay, so it has to be direct as well. Okay, so if it's simple, if it's direct, then it has the most chance to work quick. Okay, so, and then economical. So economical movement is of course, so how much energy you put in this, and then we come to grappling. Okay, because you have to put a lot of energy in grappling. So you have to grapple the guy. And if the guy is, even if he is not a grappler, he's just strong as hell, and you try to grapple him, this is going to take a lot of energy, which is not economical, and this is going to take a lot of time, which is not direct. Okay, that's not direct, and it's also not simple. That's not simple, definitely not simple. So all this grappling idea is actually goes against the principles of Jeet Kune. Okay, so if you have all these three things, okay, then you have efficiency. Okay, so now we're getting there. Now we're getting there. So we need efficiency. That's what you need. Okay, efficient, walking quick means efficient. Okay, and in order to achieve this, you need this, and you need this, and you need to be this. Okay. Unak. Okay. So let me read through. Fast, efficient, and simple. Grappling work for small versus big guy. For weak against a strong guy, maybe it could work, but it's going to take a lot of time. A lot of time. If it works, it's going to take a lot of time. So, Nick777, I mean, it would be harder to decide what technique from what martial arts are you going to use in a fight. You don't have much time to think. That's exactly that. So all this discussion about using technique that you like goes actually against goes against the nature of human brain. So, remember, according to science, anything that you want to achieve, or you want to achieve like a professional level at something, you need to put about 10,000 hours. Okay. So you can say, well, I take 5 different martial arts and I put 10,000 hours in 5 different martial arts. So, but you did actually put 2,000 hours in each of these martial arts, okay? Just 2,000, and then how many techniques do these martial arts contain, and how many time did you spend with each of the technique? So that's why it's important to reduce, okay? So you have to reduce to the essential techniques. You have to reduce to the essential techniques. So if I can type, no? So you have to reduce to the, then remember what Bruce said. A wise man in Jeet Kune is, contrary to other martial arts, being wise in Jeet Kune doesn't mean adding more, it means to minimize, which is basically reducing, okay? It means to minimize, and that's the reason, because you want to make it work. You want to minimize to the essential techniques and then put as much time as you can in those ones. Okay? And you hack away the unessential, so the techniques that you know, like we said before, work in few situations. Instead, you take the techniques that can replace those inefficient techniques, and they also work in a bunch of other situations, and you drill these techniques so you can react just like that when you have to. Okay, but this is how human brain works. So you have to do your reps, and you have to do a lot of them. It's amazing how many you have to do, and most people don't even cross the line to being somewhat like having muscle memory, which basically when you see what Wing Chun guys do is the same. So they put a lot of time in just one thing, you know, Chisao and chain punching, and but you remember, so these things, they don't fit this, okay? Because you don't want to put too much time in stuff that don't cover these principles, right? So, and it's not efficient. I mean, you can step forward and punch guy with a one straight punch. It doesn't say, but I mean, you need footwork, you need anything, okay? If you want to go beyond that. So let's read again. Sun 209. Not enough quotes from James DeMille interviews, who in detail describes Bruce Lee's process and analyzes. Nothing in it but mixing and collecting techniques. No. There's no quote or note from Bruce where he said you should Mix different martial arts. Not even basic one. Not even you should take technique from this martial. This is how you go, and then you should learn this martial art and this martial art and this martial art. He was just talking about uh, uh, using he was talking you have a lot of he was not talking, it's notes. He was writing down very much about simplicity and stuff, okay? So, and then you have even the techniques. He has written down how to use those techniques and how to attack the targets. The knees, you would use a side kick, and kick, you would front kick, you would use the groin, and for the eyes, you use the eye jabs, right? And all this stuff, it's all written down. Okay, so it's not like train 5 different martial arts and figure it out for you and use what you like. Because this is marketing. So you can sell to your students everything and just say, oh yeah, just pick what you want. And then you still call it Jeet Kune. I mean, I don't care if people train like this, but then calling it Jeet Kune, that's a problem. RAT is Wunak. Oh, Wunak is also very much Wing Chun oriented, right? So Nick777, Thomas, I don't remember if you ever tell me that a guy from another martial art go to challenge you. No, that never happened. That just happens online. That never happened. There was a guy, he was pretty cocky on Instagram when my Instagram account was exploding. He was from Germany, from somewhere. And I want to come to your school, blah blah blah. And I told him, when you come to my school, then this is not going to be a friendly encounter. Then this is going to be a self-defense situation for me. I told him, if you come. So I told him, if you come, I'm going to understand this as attack on myself. And he never came. And that was recently, maybe months ago. So, because if somebody comes and he wants to challenge me, as soon as he's close, we're not going into the school. As soon as he comes close, to me, it's self-defense. I think people know that. We are not going to jump around or anything. You come close. That's it. So, friendly challenge. Yeah, I had that once. A guy wanted to spar. He was a young guy. He looked like a kickboxer. He had no chance. Oh, so like 5 or 6 years ago. I usually I don't do that because I couldn't bother less. I used just a straight lead. I hit him with a straight lead all the time. He couldn't do shit. So, but like that's for what? I mean, what age was I? I was maybe. Man, I was 29 or something. It's like 12 years ago. 12 years. 14 years ago. Maybe I was 30, 31, something like that. So it's around 30, so it doesn't really matter. John Paul Nick, you have to learn proper body mechanics for your own body. This is accomplished through feeling. That's true because but it's easy. It's easy when you know how to achieve this. The only way to achieve this is just through repetitions. You repeat, and then eventually you're gonna figure it out how you have to do these things. But of course, you have to know the technical mechanics or the mechanics of the technique. So if you don't know them, this is why I show you. So when you kick, when you punch, so your hip has to turn then, your foot has to do this, your leg has to do this, and your upper body has to do this. And then you do your repetitions and try to apply these things. And eventually you're gonna figure this out for yourself. Okay? But it's not really different from any other martial art. or anything else you do. Let's put it this way. Magic adrenaline argument. Yeah, magic. Absolutely. Adrenaline makes us unbeatable. You know, who doesn't know? Who doesn't know all the guys, all the superheroes? Yeah, you know Captain America. He just got adrenaline injection. Nothing else. That's why he's Captain America. So Batman is stupid. Why he doesn't inject just adrenaline to himself? He would have superpowers then as well. Q Young, for example, like I couldn't teach you Chinese, but I can help you explore yourself like a Chinese guy. Son, explore yourself, thousands proper repetitions, absolutely. You have to repeat. Ordinary, David, long time. Thomas, good to see your stream. Thank you, good to see you as well. Oh, the chat jumped. So, okay, reduce to the essential techniques. So, and then you have to understand how human body works. Okay, so you have vulnerable targets. You know, you don't want to hit the opponent where he most likely can continue the fight. So, let's say in sport fight, you take MMA, for example. Okay, so you have all these techniques that are, you know, more or less are they modeled around the MMA rules. So because you have no choice but to kick the guy either to the leg or to the mid body, okay, torso or upper body. You have to train techniques that can achieve that. So that's why you train on these Muay Thai kicks to the legs. Okay, but once you're allowed to kick to the groin, you change your tactic accordingly to this. So then you would use more accurate techniques that are not like a sledgehammer, you know, but like more like accurate sword or something. So because once you are allowed to kick to the groin, you're going to choose this target. But suddenly the Muay Thai kick is not suitable to this target because it takes too much time and it's too easy for the opponent to move his target away. You know, like a groin has a different distance than the front leg. So you have to use different tactics. You have to use different footwork, and you have to also change your body structure so you don't yourself get kicked in the groin as easy. Okay, that's why Jeet Kune stance is different from sport stance, sport martial arts. Okay, so then you reduce, like I said, to the essential techniques. And you define the targets. The targets are groin, eyes, and knees, and then chin, throat, temple, and all these different secondary targets that you can, depending on the distance, attack with certain techniques that suit these targets: straights, finger jabs, straights, and hooks, back fists. Okay, so you have everything you need. You have straight punches, you have hooks, you have back fists. Okay, and you have finger jabs. This covers everything. And then among these techniques, okay, so then you concentrate on the most important to yourself, because strong side forward, right? You're gonna train your front side more because you're gonna use it more because it's naturally closer to the target. Okay, so you concentrate more on this stuff. So even among your tool set, there are also more important techniques than other ones. Okay. Walter Evans, John Paul helped me out against the Metrolina comment. So Walter Evans, I'm gonna say this once to you. You should really stop going to other channels and comment on those guys and about the Jeet Kune and draw attention to my channel, okay? Because these guys then come here, like the Black Rhino guy, and I never heard about that guy, and he suddenly was in my comment section. Where did he find me? So, and you know, people go there and well, you should watch Thomas stuff, and then they see how we show JKD. And I mean, you know how we show JKD when you have the mentality everything that works is Jeet Kune, then what's the problem? Original Jeet Kune is also then Jeet Kune, okay? So who cares? And the reason I did that video about Metrolina where he was showing Bruce Lee kicks is because I think John said me he was doing a video showing Bruce Lee kicks and they were all wrong. So I did a quick analysis or the analysis on my stream, and that's all, right? And look how much attention this draw. I mean, from these guys. Nick 777. I don't remember if you ever. Okay, this I already read that. Wolfgat, finger jab is important because it can work on for anyone small. Absolutely. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how big your opponent is. It doesn't matter how much your opponent can do on the bench press. If you compress his eye, that's it. And at least he's distracted for so long time that you can't go away. Okay. No needing strength advantage. That's why woman should learn Jeet Kune Do, Walter says. Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing about not just woman, but about everybody. Jeet Kune Do is simple, but it's not easy to learn. So you have to put a lot of repetitions in the same things over and over again. So most people are not built for this. They don't have enough patience. Let's put it that way. I had a student, a female student. She was for like a few years with us, maybe 7 or something, 8. And she was very, very talented. But like problem with everybody else, you know, just coming unregular into training. You know, you see her twice, and then she doesn't come for a full month, and then you see her once, and then you don't see her for 2 months or stuff like this. I mean, what can you expect then? So, Sons 209 cents. Never seen someone stopped with the tight kick unless it was over 50 times and over a period 10 to 15 minutes. Not JKD principles. You mean Muay Thai kick to the leg? I mean, if you kick hard enough, you can throw him off the legs. But it's not the KO. I mean, this guy's full adrenaline, you know? He doesn't feel it. The adrenaline argument doesn't fit there or what? So, Nick, I assume it's very hard to be very fast if you have large muscle mass. I mean, if you have a muscle, you can use the muscle for acceleration, you know. But if you have additional mass on yourself that doesn't contribute to your movement, that's not so good here, right? JKD principles are like Bible commandments. No, well, no, not Bible commandments. They're like scientific principles, okay? So think of it more that way. Okay? This is science. Simplicity works always better than complexity. Well, I've seen a interesting video from Neil deGrasse Tyson. He did an interview with this NASA mission to moon, Artemis, I think, and she was explaining how they were developing the rocket and everything. And what they try always to do is always to make the technology or the systems as simple as possible. I mean, you need a certain degree of complexity in technology, of course, but even there you try to make it as simple as possible, because the simpler the stuff there is, the less probable is then it's going to cause trouble or to break or something. Okay, so if you have a very complex system, you have a lot of parts that can break, of course, or have kind of misconstruction, you know. So that's a basic science principle, scientific principle. The simpler something is, the better it works and the longer it stays. Yeah, you have one star, and you have one planet. You have a stable orbit. You have two stars, and you have one planet orbiting around the both stars. Eventually, this orbit is going to collapse at some point because it gets more complicated, and so on and so on. Okay, so the simplicity applies to everything. And you know, women are not so simple. So, Nick77, is that why Bruce didn't do weight training to have big muscles? Exactly. Tommy told me that he took steroids, and he felt that the steroids made him slow or slower, so he stopped taking them. So you don't want to have big muscles, big mass, and everything, and also in endurance. The more muscle you have, the more blood has to go through the muscles. Okay, so that's what I have. I don't have big muscles, but I have big mass. You know, even I'm not, like bodybuilder, but I'm just tall. So this problem comes with my nature. So most people who are big are slow, or they just, let's say, put it this way, they look slow because they have bigger arms, bigger legs. The movement is longer. My punch duration is longer than from Tommy's, because my hand travels, let's say, a full yard, and his hand travels just maybe 2 feet or something, and his punch is going to be faster at his end point than mine, because even let's say the hands itself moves the same speed, but my hand has to travel a longer distance. So that's how bigger guys usually look slower. They are not necessarily slower, they just look slower. Metrolina MMA is not Jeet Kune. Did he say that, or is this your comment, John? Walter Evans, Anthony, well, they're not really like Bible commandments. Yeah, that's what I explained. Melonhead, can biting work against a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy on the street? Of course. You bite him, and you bite him. The average human bite force is the same as the one of the wolf. Okay. So you bite as hell. You can bite a chunk of his flesh off, okay, and you could technically also break a bone with your bite if you have good teeth. And the Bruce had a rubber device where he trained actually his biting force. Okay. I have never heard of a scientific study where it said that when you train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you get immune against biting. I mean, you know what I mean? Depends also where you bite, so. Nick777. Part of this, I mean, Bruce was very light but still very strong. Well, Bruce, he trained not just his muscles, he trained his tendons. Okay, to have very stable and strong punches and kicks, so they don't give back when he hits. You know, like the idea. So Okay, so you reduce to the essential techniques and then you train them. So you can put a lot of training time in those techniques and footwork. I mean, even if you take one technique like a straight lead or left hook or something, you have so many variations on this. With the footwork, you can move left, right, forward, backwards, and all in between. And then you can use different angles. Okay, you can punch here. You can punch even from up to down. You can punch from down to up. Depends where you hit. You know, you can hit in the body. You can hit here. So that's all. It's not always you can take one punch and spend a whole month training on this, and that's how you get proficient at this. And you can beat anybody with your right hook. Like, it doesn't matter what martial art he comes. He wants to attack you with the chain punch, or from Wing Chun, or he wants to attack you with some punching from Filipino martial arts, or maybe from karate, taekwondo, whatever. You catch all these guys because you know all the footwork. You catch all these guys with the right hook. That's when you get really good at something. So Tommy Noble, an artist working with sculpture on oneself, absolutely. And you cut away the things that you don't need. Walter Evans, concept JKD MMA are so alike you can't tell them apart. Not true. This is not true. Concepts Jeet Kune Do is different. Concepts Jeet Kune Do. There used to be a Jeet Kune Do instructor in Jeet Kune Do Concepts. There's an interview from him, and he switched to MMA, and he went professional. And in interview, what he said, that because he didn't know about Jeet Kune Do, all he knew was Jeet Kune Do Concepts. He was criticizing this training a lot because he said, well, Bruce Lee apparently is all about working and being effective and anything. And then you have those guys, the same guys that talk about this, and then training drills, Filipino martial art drills and Wing Chun drills that wouldn't work in a real fight. And that's why I say MMA is not like JKD Concepts. MMA at least tries to work under those rules conditions. But JKD Concepts, they just train everything, and they train stuff that doesn't really benefit. A lot of like nonsense and bullshit, bullshido techniques, like gunting and stuff like this. Seriously, man. I mean, what serious martial artist is going to claim that like gunting works in a real fight? It's a traditional technique that someone came up with, you know. You kick the guy in the biceps nerve, and then the guy paralyzes or something. Where's the adrenaline there, man? I don't understand. But you know, eye jabs. There's no guarantee for eye jabs. Maybe. Oh, hey, if anyone knows the name of the guy, maybe we can watch the interview here. John Paul, maybe you know the guy's name. I'm talking about. Let me. I may look for that. Just a second. Oh no, that's not one. If I can hit him. If I can hit him in the YouTube search, former Jeet Kune Do former Jeet Kune Do instructor interview. Why I quit Jeet Kune Do? There you go. Ah, that's from Martial Arts Journey guy. So he did that interview. So let's second, and we have to put the music down. Okay. So okay, let's listen to him. Okay.
Hello, Martial Arts Journey Tribe.
Oh, that's really too long.
Functional martial arts. Martial arts. Very often, I'll start with my Jeet Kune background because what they want to know about is what caused me to, you know, move towards aliveness and towards Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and towards functional martial arts. That's what I would.
So what he said, he went from Jeet Kune towards functional martial arts, and he was a Jeet Kune concepts instructor.
Start with. In reality, I've always been obsessed with martial arts since I knew they existed. I love martial arts. I went into nothing but ranges, and I'd been in enough fights to know boxing doesn't work when somebody's sitting on your chest. And so that really appealed to me. And you know, my goal from the very beginning with martial arts was I want to learn how to fight, and I want
Okay,
to
guys. So
what works in a fight.
we can't watch that, okay, because it's too long. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the name of the interview. So here's the title, okay. So you can type this in YouTube, and you can find this and watch for yourself. But basically what he was doing is he was telling that just wait a second, guys, just a second. So I'm back. So basically what he said, well, someone asked here what music that was. It was here just copyright stuff on YouTube, okay? What he said, basically, they train and they claim all this, you know, what works and blah blah blah, and then they train. He said basically they train a lot of bullshit. And you can watch the interview, okay? Watch Matt Thornton's interview with Mark Stewart. It's, you know, I mean, these guys, Matt Thornton, I did a comment on this video back when I saw it first time. So it basically, he doesn't know what Jeet Kune Do is. You know, if I would teach him Jeet Kune Do or Tommy, then he would understand. Oh well, that's totally different than the stuff he did with the guys. And that's what this channel is for. So the guys really understand what Bruce was about and what his martial art was about, and not what some student of Bruce made of it. Okay? And anyone, seriously, anyone who is interested in Jeet Kune Do should actually be interested in finding out the truth, okay? I mean, where are we? Man, so many comments. Okay, so I never troll other channels. Yeah, that's it. I mean, if you don't like a channel, don't go there. Why you keep coming back? Why you want to convince me that chain punch is not a weak punch. I mean, hit pads with the chain punch, and then let me hit the pads with a hook. And you're gonna see what stronger is. I think most countries, the laws forbid the excessive or disoriented use of force. This is another misconception. This is another misconception. I'm gonna tell you one story, okay? One story I told here in Germany. I told here on stream. I think I told it already. So, when somebody attacks you, he threatens you. You are allowed to use any force needed to stop this threat. So, no law is going to expect from you that you are able to decide in a split of a second how many kilogram or Newton force you have to do to stop this person or stop that person from doing this or that, and you don't even know what they're going to do. So first of all, a attack on yourself is already when somebody is closing to you like this, okay, and you back off, they're closing to you. This is already an attack. In this situation, you can already use your self-defense. You don't have to wait for him actually to have stabbed you in the head. You remember? Okay, Nick. So you please contact a lawyer and let to yourself explain what and when you can actually use self-defense. Okay, because there was you say. An eye jab, people claim eye jab is like too excessive force in a self-defense. Are you kidding me? There was a guy, I just read somewhere in the newspapers or online in the news. Some guy did punch the other guy. And what happened? He hit the floor and died. So, okay. So you think you punch the guy and you're safe? You don't want to. You want to defend yourself but not injure the guy. You're not for martial arts. Just go and do aerobics, or do yoga or something. Okay, because this argument is crazy. You don't want to defend yourself. You want to defend yourself, but like soft. Oh, you're kidding yourself. Really, you're kidding yourself. And I hate when people come to with this stupid comment all the time in my channel, because it's beyond stupid. This comment is beyond stupid. You don't use self-defense in situation when you don't have to defend yourself. You have to use only if you get attacked. And you cannot decide when somebody is closing at you how serious this attack is going to be, if he's going to hit you that you die, or he's going to just knock out you, or he's going to hit you you can still stand. How you gonna know that? And you wanted to defend yourself accordingly to this, or maybe his attack is not so I'm gonna even closing distance to yourself. This is an attack on yourself, because if it's this close and then he attacks you, you can't do anything about this, because you have a knife in your belly that you couldn't even see from that distance. So don't kid yourself. Don't use excuses to not train. Like, the people come from martial arts that don't train groin kicks, don't train eye jabs, and don't train side kicks to knees, and they try to find any kind of excuse, okay, so they can back up their own martial art. That's a psychological thing. So they're just kidding themselves. And what Bruce said, the hardest thing to do is to be honest to yourself. So, to tell you the story again. So the story was a guy had a gun, but he had illegal that gun, okay? And he was in a club and he was talking to a girl. And this girl happened to be a girlfriend from a Hell's Angel. Okay, she was girlfriend from a Hell's Angel, and he saw that, and the Hell's Angel guy, he took a knife and he charged at the guy, and the guy number one, right, who was talking to the girl, he had that gun, and he took the gun out, and he shot at the leg of the Hell's Angel, the guy with the knife. So, and this whole thing, of course, went to court, and he was charged for possessing the gun, because he had the gun illegal, but he wasn't charged for using the gun, because it was self-defense. In that situation, he was allowed to use the gun, was okay, but having the gun was illegal, so he got his 6 months, okay, jail or something for having a gun illegal, or 6 months on probation, or I don't know. So that's the story I heard from a guy here somewhere in our area, okay. So I mean, he did shoot at the guy's leg. He was charging at him with a knife, okay. Excessive force, right? And even in Germany, that's not America, okay. Walter Humans understood. Yes, I may have been playing into their hands. I think they were trying to attack Tommy. Who cares, man? You can't go to channels and criticize them and then expect that they don't say anything. Just don't go there. It doesn't make any sense. You know, the purpose of this channel is so people want to see the material and learn Jeet Kune. They can do this, but you know, criticizing. I have, you know, people write me all the time. Hey, can you comment on this video? Can you comment on that video? Can you comment on video from this channel, from that channel? So I only do sometimes comments on video, maybe like Ramsey Dewey. I did once a comment because he was talking about Jeet Kune's strong side forward, and he was very uneducated, so I did that. But you know, nobody watches that. Who cares? And it doesn't even make any sense. So we can, you know, like post things here on our channel, and then hope that people watch that. John Paul, I haven't been to any channel to cause trouble, only mentioning what JKD should be in order to make. Yes, sometimes when I see some stupid stuff about Jeet Kune, I said, well, sorry, but that's not Jeet Kune, you're misinformed. But you know, to go into page-long discussion with these guys doesn't make any sense. It just bores me to death. And also when people come to my channel and then they want a discussion and they comment 1,000 times on one subject and they just don't understand, sometimes I just block them and they go away, and then, you know, like months later I delete this block list. Because, you know, it just doesn't make any sense to discuss with these guys. I mean, if you love so much Wing Chun, then go to Wing Chun channel. Go in your bubble when where you hear how great this all is. So, and we have to, like I said, we have to talk about Wing Chun, because for once, Bruce went from Wing Chun to Jeet Kune. For second is, many people think that Jeet Kune is Wing Chun 2.0, and because they think that if you want to set the record straight, you have to talk about that art that people actually think that is Wing Chun, but it is not, you know. So that's why we have to talk about Wing Chun, guys. You know, chain punch. Why did Bruce get rid of chain punch? Why he went to more boxing style punches? Okay, so that's why we have to talk about this. But people shouldn't take this personally. Martial art doesn't care about yourself or the guy who made you. You have to always remember, any martial art came from someone. You know, and this guy wasn't perfect, and maybe he didn't even have understanding of fighting any. And tradition is always holding you back, always. It doesn't matter in what, martial arts or in science or in economics or whatever, or politics. Tradition is always holding you back and makes things roll just slow. So okay, so we reduce to the essential techniques and then train them to, right? That's basically that. So okay, so you have to remember, why did Bruce, okay, I know in the Tao book somewhere in the behind, Bruce note was that he it was maybe a mistake to name a martial art anyway, but nevertheless he did. Why did he name Jeet Kune the way of intercepting? Okay, why you can intercept any technique at the start of the technique. You just have to intercept the starting movement, and then you can use all these techniques that you can drill all the time. So look at this, and you can. Doesn't matter what the guy wants to do. He wants to kick you. He wants to stab you. He wants to punch you. He wants to grab you. If you keep your distance in order to cover the distance and then apply his technique, he has to do the step, and you just sidekick into the step or finger jab into the step. Okay, and then you train this to death. You train mechanically this to death, and then all the angles and everything. So, and then you have progressive weapon chart. Progressive weapon chart is when you, let's do it this way. Okay, imagine here. Imagine here. Okay, does this work? You see something? So I'm gonna take a thicker one. Okay, so you have a guy. Okay, so okay, this is the hand, this is the leg. Okay, so this is the longest hand technique, this is the longest leg technique. Okay, so naturally you're gonna here attack eyes, here you're gonna attack eyes, okay, chin, whatever. Here you're gonna kick groin, or you're gonna kick right knee. So okay, so this is the distance for this, this is the distance for this. So for anything that it's closer than this, you have to use different technique. Either you use technique that is in this distance, or you move backwards and you use again the longer technique. So you pass the straight lead. Here you would use, let's say, a back fist, or here would you use the hook in this. Okay, here would you use side kick, here would you use front kick, and here you would sweep the guy. Okay, or you would kick to the ankle. Okay, so here, groin kick, and a side kick, and here you would sweep the guy or do the foot stomp. Okay, so that's a progressive weapon chart. So in nutshell, very simple explained. Then and you train all these distances, you train all these angles and everything, and you get very proficient at this. Okay, that's you know, it's essential. It's simple. You have your targets, and then you attack these targets, and when the targets are different distances for you, you have to use different techniques for the same targets. Okay, and you have main targets that you attack. That's the preference for your attack, and then you have secondary targets when you could not reach the main targets, which is very rare actually. Okay, so I can't draw with a mouse. If I had like a electronic pen, that would have much better. I mean, I only went them for them after attacking Tommy? Of course they attack Tommy, because they attack me or Tommy then for what? For being rude, but you know, there's no, they cannot attack me for what? How can I critique somebody and being nice at the same time? It doesn't work. I know that the Jeet Kune stance is angled where it prevents groin kicks. So you're like, your strong side is forward, okay? So and you stay here. Let's go again. When that's the line, okay? So from above, this is the opponent, and this is maybe his one leg and his second leg, okay? And your fit, how your fit should be placed, okay? So like here, the front foot, okay? And this is your toe here, and the rear foot is like pretty much here in the middle of the line, okay? So you push with your rear leg and you step here forward. And the step can be also then a kick instead of the step, okay? So, and then the knee naturally, how your upper body is positioned like this, okay? And then you have your front hand here, and your rear hand you have here in front of your hand, in front of your head, okay? And the angle of your body and how your legs are positioned, you protects your groin from the direct attack from the front, but not from an angle attack from the side. So you remember that. The best protection against your being kicked in the leg, in the groin, is always mobility. Okay, so moving. Because yes, it gives a smaller target because you're angled. So right when you stand like this, okay, to the camera, then this is the target. If you're angled, okay, then this is the target. Then you're like here, you're protected here, and your hand is here. Okay, the same with the legs. Gold Label was the only comments on, but I never mentioned already. She could know. The channel, Golden Label channel, what I think of that, I was once or twice. That's the huge black guy, right? He does show some self-defense stuff, which I found. You know, always it most of the time it lacks darkness. That's the thing. Most criticism of late-stage Jeet is not based on physics or kinesioology, but tradition, argument from so-called authority and popularity. Well, you know, ask Mark Thornton what he thinks about Jeet Kune concepts. Bruce Lee beardy videos, yeah. I mean, this guy's is pulling informations out of his butt, I guess. The beardy guy. Q Young, I remember the Bruce Lee interview. Bruce answered Pierre Breton. Yeah, some forms of martial arts became sport, but it still doesn't mean all martial arts could become sport fighting. No, he said actually some martial arts became sport. For instance, they don't use like jabbing to the eye and kicking to the groin. That's what he said. And that's basically the same as today. Nothing has changed in the last, what, 60 years or something. I heard Bruce beginning went classic weightlifting, but went more toward tendon strength. Less, exactly. A lot of isometrics and stuff. I like actually classic weightlifting, but composite exercises, not so much exercises that, you know, just focus on one muscle. But I do also some of those, you know, like biceps curl with one long or two curls or something. I do from time to time these as well. What I don't do is isolating my triceps. I usually do when I do bench press, then I do, you know, so many exercises on bench press that I'm just done. I mean reps. Biblical principles are morality. I'm not really sure. I mean, when you read the Bible, there are stages in the Bible that say you should kill everybody who doesn't believe. And I think there are 150 in the Bible are 100 or over 100 times written that you should actually kill infidels. So I don't know. I mean, you know, we don't want to get religious on this channel, but you know, you have like 1,000 religions and you're so happy that your is the right one. What a coincidence. You know what I mean? Did we lose audio? Where? Beware Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu boys. Yeah. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu makes also immune against eye poking. Walter Evans, Tommy was saying once that someone with strong ankle on the back foot propelling them forward could do more damage than a bodybuilder with big muscles. Yes. I mean, there's a difference between being explosive and being able to accelerate fast your movement and moving heavy weights. Although, so you know, powerlifting, okay, powerlifting is what a student of mine was powerlifter, and he was very fast because of powerlifting. And that's because powerlifting, what you do is you compete. I don't know if he did competitions, but when you compete, the guy who can lift the heaviest weight wins. And what they do is they don't move the weight as slow as they can, but they try to move it as fast as possible. So you go as fast as possible for the process. So, and when you try to move the weight as fast as possible, you automatically train your fast twitch muscle fibers. Even, let's say you have 400 pounds on your weight, and you push it, and this is actually looks slow, but it's the fastest possible you can move it. You still train your fast muscle twitch fibers. Okay, just so you know. And he was very fast in kicking and punching and moving, despite he was like this. Ballistic power can increase power over weight gain. Skinny guy over time hitting 300% back can quickly have heavyweight power. Yes, of course, but you cannot trick physics. So if you have two guys that are technically the same, you know, and one is heavier, the heavier is going to hit harder. But I mean, let's put it this way: when you hit hard, so you can knock a guy out, or your hitting power is very hard or high. So what does it matter if other guy can hit harder than you? You can hit hard enough, you know. So how to develop the timing to strike? Oh well, first of all you need to have the technique in your second nature, okay, muscle memory, and then you have to be able to read your opponent and know when to attack and what technique you're gonna use. Okay, so if he's far away, so you know on his movement you're going to use the side kick. If he's closer and he stands like kind of open, then you know you're going to use the front kick, or maybe a straight lead or high jab, and then you wait for the weight shift and try to time your footwork to the weight shift. So the moment he shifts his weight, to go towards you. He doesn't even have to attack. It's just a forward movement. At this moment, you start pushing and do your technique. And you time it on that. The only way you can train this is with a training partner. Ah, Robert, you're watching on your phone, okay? Most of you guys watching on your phone? From knowing your own body, is it possible to read others' movements before they do it? Yeah, well, here's the thing. You have to know what happens before actually somebody moves, okay? I can't show you this now because I would have to stand up and go backwards. But if somebody stands and he has his weight like 50-50, okay, so the weight is also on his like front leg or the leg he's going to use to step forward. Usually, before he does the step, he has to take the weight off this leg, which happens by him shifting the weight backwards and then going forwards for the step. So now you know that, okay? Now you look for the shift backwards, and when the guy shifts the weight backwards, now you attack him, because you know his plan was to going forward, which is ironically. So he has to go backwards before he does the step, okay? This is not when he is not in a martial arts stance. So when you're in the stance, you position yourself the way so you don't have to shift your weight before you do your action. So you want not to telegraph that. But some people do it anyway. Kung Fu, hi Thomas, I'm sorry for your stream. Pierre, no problem. No problem. So, David Urbina, I like the fact you explain in layman terms. Yeah, I mean, that's... the funny thing about layman terms. There was a guy wait a sec. There was a guy on Instagram, you know. He was criticizing me. He said, you never use like expert terms like, you know, jig tech, nuke tech, and all these terms for Jeet Kune techniques, because of course Bruce used them all the time. He didn't. So, you know, you just appear as you know something. But I can read you all the terms down from a letter and still not being able to do them or to know how to use them. Okay, so we use side kick, we use front kick, we use step and slide, we use step to the side, we use replacement step when we talk about this stuff, just like Bruce did. Groin, eyes, target, okay, weight shift. So we don't use Chinese terms for this. It's stupid. Again, this traditional nonsense. So it appears like you know something. So to your students, look, he's jig tech, nuke tech, he doesn't even say that, he doesn't know that. Oh my god, these guys are so lost. So you should never bring a knife to a gunfight. Yes. So let's yeah, Walter, just don't go to these channels. Just don't bother, okay? Who cares? I did discuss on German martial arts forums for years, and trust me, does no good, and doesn't change a single opinion from anybody there, from anybody. It's just me talking to a wall here. It's the same, right? So you can hope, you know, when you put educational content out, that some people who watch this maybe won't understand this, but like how many people are interested actually in Jeet Kune Do from all martial? How many people from all people do actually martial arts? What's the percentage? 1%, 2? And how many people of those who actually do martial art do Jeet Kune Do? And then how many people of those who do Jeet Kune Do do actually Jeet Kune Do? Okay, so at the end of the day, you come to a very, very low percentage of people who actually do Jeet Kune Do and actually are interested in the art. So when did Bruce start to lose faith in Kung Fu? It was Wong Jackman fight and few others, not just that one. That was one of those. Tommy sent me, I don't know what Kung Fu guy that was. There was a other Kung Fu guy, and Bruce still did Wing Chun at the time. And he tried to stick at the guy, and the guy didn't want to stick. He was just punching, and he punched him in the face, I think. And after the fight, Bruce said, "This shit doesn't work." You know? So, and people don't want to hear this. They still think Jeet Kune Do is Wing Chun, some kind of Wing Chun variation. Nick 77, Bruce Lee knew not just Wing Chun, he also picked some techniques from other styles of Kung Fu. There's the thing, you know. There's that theory that Bruce Lee collected techniques or something. Even when he modified Wing Chun, he didn't modify it by adding techniques, he modified it by changing the structure. Okay, but for example, doing Chi Sao, he placed 1 foot forward, and then he applied pressure forward pressure in Chi Sao. So when you do classical Chi Sao with the Wing Chun guys, there's no forward pressure because they stand like parallel to each other. You can apply a much forward pressure because you don't have the stability. Okay, but he placed the right foot forward, so he can actually. Bruce Chi Sao is like this. Okay, go with pressure inside. Okay, and Wing Chun Chi Sao is just rolling, but Bruce Chi Sao is like this. Okay, and then you have to adjust your your like energy or according to this pressure. It's different. And that's how Jesse Glover he threw the hotel room all these Wing Chun guys and Ken Specht as well. Nobody could handle Jesse's Chi Sao. None of these guys from Wing Chun styles. So that's a modification. That's what Bruce did. He modified it. He didn't add a technique from different martial art. Okay, and same as with Jeet Kune Do, you know. So he just started to look at different ways. Maybe at the beginning he just like took some boxing type of techniques or so. Maybe at the raw beginning of this, But at the end it was opposite. Stripping away. But seems like Jeet Kune Do utilizing the maximum range works for the taller opponent. Jeet Kune Do versus Jeet Kune Do. The shorter guy needs to get close. Yes, yeah, I mean, definitely it's difficult when you do the same. But the smaller guy should attack more the legs against the taller guy, of course. Because also there applies, longest weapon, nearest target. The same idea applies. What you want to do then, you want to catch the guy with a broken rhythm in his movement. Okay, so there you have these fencing ideas. Okay, where you use the broken rhythm to overrun the guy in his reaction or to catch him in his forward movement, which I can be caught by a smaller guy as well. I can tell you something. I can guarantee you something. If I train with Fabian and Fabian uses Jeet Kune and I try to attack him and he's just defending himself, and as soon as I go square, I have no chance. I only have chance if I also use JKD footwork. Without JKD footwork, he kills me. I have no chance. Trust me. Even if I'm almost a head bigger. So
Kannst du die Handy auf?
auf.
Ja. Warum geht
Hier.
die immer schon aus?
Yeah. So, hey, yeah. My daughter, she wanted myself to turn her mobile device on. She's watching animated stuff. John Paul, no chase targets. No, just chase targets, yes. Inside boxing, fighting, clinch, tie. No, don't clinch. Oh my god. Don't clinch. Clinching is so stupid. So when you're inside, you move off the side and you attack the guy with hooks. Or you sweep the guy. So you move to the side. You don't just stand in front of him and clinch him. And he's knifing you. So the people, they have to go away from the sport fighting. Okay. So, let's see. I have here some notes that I wanted to. Okay. So the other thing is, you know, when I made this video on criticizing kicks from Metrolina martial arts. So one example is when you go here. So when you go here, when you do the hook kick or the side kick, okay? So the hook kick and the side kick. So when you watch it from above, okay, you can see the guys having their this is heel, okay, this is toe, having their left foot, the standing foot, okay, pointing towards here, but they are kicking with the other leg here. But when you do that, okay, you should have your foot actually pointing away from the target. So that's the correct position of the foot, okay. So the foot of the supporting leg should point with the heel towards the target, okay, when you use the side kick or the hook kick, okay. So basically this, or sometimes it's like this, or in between, but it shouldn't go like this, okay, because if you do, if you have to think about this. So when the foot is pointing away of the target, so the back of your leg is also pointing to the target. So when let me so this is the foot, okay, this is your leg, okay, and you can have it bent this way, and here's the hook kick, okay, so like this. So this is the back side of your knee. This on the knee is here. The knee should also a point of and this is the side of the leg, okay. So you're like this, okay, here you're watching here, then you have this hand covering, and this hand is ready for. So this foot, okay, here Adidas 3 stripes. So this foot should, the toes point away of the target, okay, and you're kicking here either with a hook kick or with a side kick. Then you have your foot like this, okay. So if you have your foot inwards, so 90 degree pointing this way, then you have your leg as well like this. Okay, so then you kick here. Okay, you kick your foot. So the problem you have here, you cannot turn your hip in when you stand like this because the foot doesn't turn, you don't turn here the leg all the way, so you can turn the leg into the target. And you have big amount of stress on your knees in that point. And if you do a lot of this kind of training, you're gonna really hurt your knees with the time. This is gonna hurt you. So because the body wants actually to turn there, but the leg does not support it, and what happens is you have this stress on the knees, okay, this twisting force. But here you position your leg right and there's no force on the knee and the body can open towards the target, okay. So, and they showed hook kicks. I mean, if you do the groin kick, you know, to the front, then that doesn't matter, you don't have to turn. Don't turn. If you do a kick in between, you don't also have to turn as much, but more. But if you do the hook kick, you know, like horizontal hook kick, then you have to turn. And because you bring your body in, you turn with your leg and with your hip, so you generate power. Remember, you kick with your front leg, and there's no much room for acceleration. So you need to bring your all power and snap into the target, so you have any power. So when people say you don't have a lot of power when you kick with the front leg, is only if you kick like this. If you kick like this, and and you do enough repetitions, and then your muscles are chalked to kick like this, effortless, then you can generate a lot of power. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, but because I had this subject, body mechanics matter. Okay. Okay, body mechanics matter. So this matter, it does matter. Okay. Like Bruce said, it doesn't matter if, you know, like when you kick and the kicking leg is like so, or few degrees like here, or few degrees like here. It doesn't matter as long the basic mechanical principles of the technique are not violated. If the basic mechanical principles of the technique are violated, then that's where the technique falls apart. Okay, remember that. So, oh, I have to catch up on the chat a lot, guys. So let's try it from the last one. With hybrid kick, how would you face pivoting foot? You mean how would you face your standing foot? Slightly, you know, not 90 degrees to the side, but slightly outside. Okay, so like depends on the distance you kick also. That's very important. Okay, sometimes you can use it 90 degrees. I have to I mean, from the top of the head, I would have to kick, and then I could tell you. But when you use the hook kick, you know, when you turn horizontally with your hook, then you turn your standing leg as well. But the more you turn your standing leg, also with the hybrid kick, okay, because the more power you can bring in, okay, and the less stress on your knees. So remember, that's the power, where the power comes through the rotation. With the hook kicks, like with the hook punches, same, okay. And the hip, and you should use the rotation as late as possible, so you can rotate with your body through the target, okay. So let's read something. Melonhead, I guess one of the takeaways from Jeet Kune is simultaneously attack and defense, not trapping. Yeah. Oh, okay. So here's the thing, that's like more Oakland era Jeet Kune. Okay. So where you do this intentionally, basically, but in like later era of Jeet Kune where you have more fencing footwork, then you move into attack and you cover in case you get countered, and you don't go like this or like this. You would rather evade instead of block. Okay, so this is also still kind of Wing Chun Oakland era, which then Bruce also again refined and moved away from. Okay, so remember that. So some stuff Bruce did use, and then he went away from that. But Ted Wong said a seminar in Glasgow. He said the reason Bruce went away from trapping is because of the footwork. He didn't, because as he moved, he didn't need to trap, because everything what he did with the movement. You go in, you catch the opponent with rhythm, with broken rhythm, basically. So you don't need to go in and check him. You just hit the guy. Okay. Walter Evans, by claiming Jeet Kune is everything, they get their broad spectrum of customers. Absolutely. So when you offer all these different martial arts, it's like going in a restaurant offering all kinds of food, so everybody can go eat there. So that's the most amount of money you can make. And same as in martial arts. If you have school with different martial arts, then you can cover a lot of interest. Okay, but Jeet Kune is not about covering interest. Jeet Kune is about being effective and as efficient as possible. And you can do this only at so many ways. Yeah. So what do we have next? David, I just saw a comment on I just saw the commercial on Fight Fast self-defense video, just letting you know that every time I tune into your channel that commercial runs. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good to know. I can in the stream settings I can set up what commercials I want to have, in terms of do I want to have any commercials or just commercials that are skippable or that are not skippable. So in stream I have only commercials that you can skip. So not you watch and then comes commercial and then you can skip and you have to watch 1 minute some video and you miss the stuff we are talking about. Oh, Rigotone's movement. Hi, Rigotone's movement. By the way, did Bruce teach blended boxing and fencing with his Wing Chun in his Seattle, LA, Oakland schools? I mean, he did all of this there, right? So Seattle was just Wing Chun, basically, modified Wing Chun. LA was kind. Not LA. Oakland was kind. I mean, Tommy did a seminar from a few guys from the Oakland area in Glasgow, and I was there. I was participating, and this was nothing like Lake Jeet Kune. It was also a lot of still going with both hands forward, but like boxing, fencing principles, that's pretty late. You have boxing principles also in Oakland area, Oakland time, but it's nothing like late Okay. John Paul, what if guys does this or that? Don't worry. Yeah, that's also a typical question. What I do a short clip where guy does a step and I jab him on the movement. And then what if the guy does whatever? Well, he still has to do the step before. I mean, because I'm keeping the distance, he has to come close. So doesn't matter what his plan is. Yeah. But he flies away suddenly. What do you do then? Also, thank you explaining the principles on defending the groin kicks. So I mean, you should always keep your distance. Not when somebody kicks and punch, you have two options: going in or going out. Okay. You can also stand and attack, but this is basically like going in. Okay. So you can attack into his attack, or you can avoid the attack. Okay, that's the two basic principles you have. And when somebody kicks your groin or kicks your leg, move it away, move it out of the way, or attack into his attack and intercept him. So John Paul Mellon, you just need to learn to be indirect with the same stuff. Changing up and down targets, switch between leg, groin, eyes. This is the thing, okay? So imagine you have your opponent here, okay? And then you have the opponent here. You have his eyes, okay? So he looks retarded, right? So then you have him here, okay? Then you have here, okay? So, okay, let's make him, it's so hard with the mouse, right? So here, right? Then you have here, one leg, second leg. Okay, then you have here eyes, you have groin, and you have a knee. Okay, 1, 2, 3. These are the main targets. So show me one situation where you can't reach at least one of these targets. Most of the times you can reach at least one of the targets. So these two targets are when you're a bit further away. So the guy can either stand like this in front of you, okay? Or he can stand like this in front of you. So when one leg is forward and one leg is like behind. Okay, so more sideways, okay, if you understand what I mean. So this is one leg and this is the other leg. So he stands here sideways towards you. Okay. So here's his nose. And here's his hand, here's his other hand. So either he stands more square or more sideways towards you. If he stands more square, he's your target. If he stands more sideways to you, he's your target. If he stands in between, here's your target and here's your target. If you're closer, you can punch here, you can just eye jab here. If he's turned, doesn't matter. Is he turned? So this leg he's closer, but this leg is more forward. You can punch here, you can eye jab here. Is this leg more forward? Still you can punch here and eye jab here. Okay, so tell me one situation when you could not reach only if your hands are already bound and he's holding your both hands and both legs, you can't move. So, but how did you get there? Ignoring all this then, right? So you have 3 targets in 3 different heights. You can at least one you can reach at all times. So Jimmy7145, hi Jimmy. There's a time to kill, never a time to murder. Let's like there's a time to eye gouge. Absolutely. So what usually, I mean, it's to you up to decide. I would probably also not use the eye jab all the time. I would maybe use a straight lead instead of, if you know, like you don't want to injure the guy as severe, but if the situation is really serious, you fucking eye jab, man. John Paul Bruce quote, Wolfgard, doesn't matter what if there's only 2 arms and 2 legs, distance and time only matters using progressive weapon charts. So like Bruce said, there's no need for different martial arts as long as humans have 2 legs and 2 bodies, 2 arms. What he said is actually, as long as humans are built as they are, we are essentially have all the same blueprint. Okay, our body is built the same. Every cat is built the same. There are also different cats, but basically essentially the same blueprint. Same with humans. And there's no need for different martial arts, because there's only so many ways how you can use this body effective as efficient and as possible. Okay. Nick777 Thomas, this is what you should answer to a guy if he challenges you, especially he trains in a sport art, that you are not aiming to beat any MMA guy, just being prepared for support. I did that, but then they say this is an excuse not to fight, or you know, like what I sometimes say, the only way you can fight me is coming and attack me. That's the only way you can try me. But we are not going to spar and play your game. In, out, and touch, bam, bam. I did that in my early years. I did spar all the time in training. But that's something totally different. Something totally different than, you know, sparring, but always with the mindset to end the guy. That's a different mindset. So John Paul Daly, compound lifts, isometrics, resistant bands, dynamic tension is all you need. Yeah, dynamic tension is also, oh, that's so hard to train, man. I mean, it's boring. It can be really boring. Anthony, no laptop, so you're watching on laptop. Okay. Did Tommy have much power in his kicks when he was younger? Are you seriously asking that? I'm gonna show you something. Wait a sec. I mean, what do you mean with when he was much younger? I can show you when he was trained. Wait a second. I can show you that here. Just a second. Mm-hmm. 1.6 million views. Okay, I think that's here. So, wait a sec. There's a somewhere is the scene. Ah. Okay, let's watch together. So that's an old clip of Tommy. You know, you see the quality. I mean, is this my quality? No, that's the best quality you can get. There you can see somewhere a side kick. You can see a lot, some of the stuff you can see still, you know, moving Jesse trappings, doing trapping. But there's a video where he kicks. Oh, there you go. So here you can see that's here. So this dummy here, this here behind is a truck suspension. Okay, that's a truck suspension, and I've kicked this dummy. And this dummy, he's here on the wall. I've kicked this dummy when it was not on the wall. I noticed that this. I mean, when you kick it really hard, my heel it hurt, and this dummy is really heavy and hard to kick. And now watch him kick. He lifts this fucking thing off the floor. So, and I can guarantee you, if Tommy kicks you like this, here, he can kill you. If he kicks you like this in the ribs, he can kill you. Because this dummy is completely out of metal. Okay. So, right. Question: can you use JKD in professional boxing? Yeah, only the punching parts. Yeah, it's basically boxing. The hand techniques in Jeet Kune are basically boxing. Okay, with footwork, with everything. Okay, if you you could use it, you could. I mean, a lot of boxers nowadays are fighting leg on leg. Old days boxers were moving a lot more, were not as static as much. So like Muhammad Ali and stuff. Okay. So and Jeet Kune is pretty similar when it comes to punching. Okay. So you move, move, you punch in, you move offside, you circle. So you would use a lot footwork. People are only concerned with Seattle years, Oakland years to solve or understand mystery of JKD and Bruce's athleticism. Tommy Caruto solved mystery, no need to look back. Absolutely, son. That's true. Ordinary, I don't think so. What did he say, Nick? What did he say? Kung Fu on Instagram again. Yeah. Well, Instagram stopped growing. They changed the algorithm somewhere in August, and well, it doesn't grow anymore. So who cares? There's no money in Instagram anyway. Bruce Lee Einstein said, if you can explain something in easy terms, you don't understand it enough. The fact you can make anyone understand what you're saying means you're really good at Jeet Kune. That's true. That Einstein really said that. So you need to be able to explain it simple. And if you don't, I saw Yori Nakamura using a lot of boxing in a demo, shoulder lower, pull back, head movement with Wing Chun, Jeet Kune Paris. But Yori Nakamura does. I've seen videos of him showing Jeet Kune, but he basically showed all the movements Bruce did in the films, which was funny because he copied them one to one. Yeah. I heard story about that guy, which I'm not going to tell you in public, which is very funny story. Nick, by participating in boxing tournaments, you'd be limiting yourself too much. Absolutely. So all the leg techniques, you know, using. That's about the progressive weapon chart. So in progressive weapon charts, you use all the techniques according to the distance, and you in boxing you don't have this. You have only, you know, punches. teaching coaching is a gift. Not everyone can or should do it, even with proper training. So there are many good fighters that can teach. That's true. And vice versa. There are people who never fought or were, I don't know. I mean, Kustamato didn't have a great boxing career because I think he was injured, but he was a great teacher. And he had some ideas, you know. These ideas came from somewhere, probably, but it was not conventional boxing that you knew at the time. So, from time to time, a genius is popping out, okay? I'm getting hungry, guys. I'm getting hungry. So, Walter Evans Thomas, it's like beating your own head against the wall, yes, when you're in form. Davey 1. When you're a knob, you think those Chinese terms are important. Ah, man, I hope... Yeah, well, what that guy said to me, that was really funny. I posted this on Facebook. It was in German. I would have to translate it now and then show you what he said. Let me try that actually. Let me try that actually. Wrong one. So if I can scroll down on my page, I have no idea where this is. It's pretty far down. So I'm gonna take me a minute. So you can see what he... Oh, look at this one. This is a nice one. Oh no, that's just a picture. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. So I'm gonna translate you what he said, basically. This is the other guy. So I think I'm getting. Okay, no. That's something else. Okay, it doesn't matter. I would have to look it up. On Instagram where he wrote that, but that's not so important. I thought I had it on Facebook, so. The Choily foot guy, Bruce couldn't stick to him and he was just as fast. Yes, that's true. That was the guy where Bruce said that stuff doesn't work. Somebody once said that Wing Chun fighting chain punches was originally developed for Chinese guys cramped on deck fighting on ships. I mean, you can use hooks for that. You don't need these inefficient chain punches. You hook the guy to the chin, he's so over. Even if Bruce lost a few challenges, that doesn't matter. It's normal. I mean, of course. The Bruce, he always wanted just to win, and he always looked for the ways how to achieve that. So okay, so what do we have here? What did I wrote? Oh yeah. Well, we know what Bruce felt about mixing Jeet Kune with other arts and the letter to Poteet, where he said basically you should, if you do martial art X and you have martial art Y, and martial art X should be trained according to the drills of martial art X, and martial art Y should be trained according to the drills of martial art Y. And that bed of roses, it yields roses, and bed of I don't know, some other plants yields these plants. And that's how it works. 250 the dialects in Germany. I mean, every country has dialects. As tiny differences between some of them can be. Yeah. So that's nothing new. Some of them you really can't understand, but most of them you can. Yeah. So guys, I think it should be enough for today, and I don't know when we're gonna do the next stream, but what we're gonna talk about. Maybe we're gonna do something different next time, where I can actually let me show you. So I can actually, right? So where I could actually, so maybe show you some stuff, right? Where we can let me go there. Okay. So, and then just a second. We can do this maybe next time. So okay, this doesn't work because of course. Let me see if this if it works there. Okay, it works. So right. So where I may show you some stuff here in the background, maybe some mechanics or something, because well, you know how everything works. I have a punching bag there, and I have my rope where I like to kick and punch there. Maybe I can show you some stuff, and when we talk about some stuff, think I may just explain you that, right? So that's actually where I train. You can see that here. Okay, this is where I train. This is my training stuff, what I have here. Here I'm sitting. Okay, here that's my desk. It's my computer and my two monitors. So you can see here my keyboard. Right, here my Coke. And so this is where I train alone. Okay, so once or twice a week I train in my school, and the rest of the time I train here. So you see here, so you can hear go train, right? The side kicks, you can go here, train front kick, lead punch. I can do the repetitions and everything there. So well, my legs are sore because I was in the gym today. I did also some squats. It feels. So I got this small punching bag because I didn't want to have the big one, so I could train groin kicks there, right? And yeah, that's the Coke. Oh no, the zero sugar Coke. My God, I'm getting fat. And I'm trained. So yeah, that's my laboratory Sun 209. So I just did some order here because it was pretty messed up, because when we were in holidays, and all the swimming stuff and was packed there, and baggage and everything. So I would say next time we have questions, I'm gonna show you some stuff, and maybe, you know, and I have I can show you, you know, because many of you guys ask me how you can train alone. And then you can I can show you how you can train alone, how you can do some repetitions and some stuff. Maybe yeah, I'm looking slim. I'm huge. I mean, the camera lens, it's making probably even more like that. Okay, so the Black Rhino guys has another video material now. Yeah, he can do now another video and have some 2,000 clicks or that video made the most clicks, I guess, right? So we can do this, yeah. So I'm gonna show, but nevertheless, I'm gonna show you one thing. So here, when you have the stance, right? So because you asked about the stance, okay? Can you hear me good? Yeah, I think you can hear me good, guys. So when you ask about the stance, when you see Jeet Kune guys standing like this, okay, like this, or even here, and wide open, or even like this. So in Jeet Kune you should actually stand to the opponent like this, okay? So you here, you closed, okay? When you move, you can move fast forward, you can move fast backwards, okay? And then when you kick, you can follow up with a punch. When you punch, you can follow up with a kick, okay? And when you side kick, you can follow up with a back fist. When you back fist, you can follow up with all kicks. And when you attack the groin, you can attack the groin like this, and you can attack the groin even like this, and you can attack the groin like this, and you can attack the groin like this, okay? And when you side kick, you can side kick here. You can even, if you want, side kick with a high side kick, but it's not needed, right? Then if you use your left, you have to open, okay? So you would usually launch the hand and open then, okay? Then you use the lead, you can use the hook, you can use the back fist, okay? And always stay relaxed as much as you can, right? So, and when you do the reps, then you can do this relaxed, right? So where you don't get tired too fast, okay? So Tommy always finding new problems to solve new drills. So what Tommy does, he does new drills, okay? He doesn't invent new techniques. He just invents new drills. What happens when you train somebody, okay? You train somebody and you see that he's got some difficulties with something, okay? let's say he's got difficulties, okay? Let's say he's got troubles when he does side kick, okay? To turn his standing leg, okay? But that was what I was explaining to you. When you do the side kick there, okay? So you should turn your standing leg so the knee points there, your standing foot points away from the target, and you can here, okay, here, you can here move the whole hip into the target. So, and some people have problems to turn this leg. Then you can do you can develop a drill just for that, okay? So you say to me, okay, go here, okay, go here, and then turn the leg, okay, turn the leg and turn hip. You can go here and just turn, okay? You can go here and just turn. And then you go here and turn. And then you go here, turn with the kick, go back, go here, turn with the kick, go back, okay? So you can isolate the problem and work with the students on that single problem, okay? And so, and that's just an idea for this. There's so many other ideas that he has over the time. And like he said, he has forgot probably more drills than most people ever knew. Question: what are some very good tendon exercises for strengthening tendon? What you mean by that? Tendon exercises. What you can do? You know this one. So this is a bull walker. The Bruce Lee. He used this actually. So you can use this. You know, for isometric exercises, you can go like this and pull it as hard as you can, or you can go like this, or you can go here like this, or you can go here like this. Okay, or you can go here like this, or you can go like here, straight lead. Go and pull it as hard as you can, and you can do both sides. Okay, so isometric exercises, you can look up in internet for how many seconds you hold this, and when you go as hard as you can, you don't hold for so long. Okay. The same you can do with this. Okay. So you can go like here. Okay, here for this. You can go here, right? You can go here. You can go take two, go here, and go here, or you go you know. So you can yeah, you try to rip this, okay, and you make your tendons strong and everything. Okay, so when you punch, you have stability or something like this. You can look up these Russian guys like 100 years ago or something, who did actually, you know, bending metal, how they train their strength. They use chains actually for this, but you can use also rubber. So rubber does give a bit up. Okay, so you go as hard as you can. Okay, so when you punch, you go here, you punch, boom. Okay, oh, that was fast. Now you can blend in this clip that he did. Wow, this looks fast. It looks faster than fast people do. Okay, right? So you can train this. Bull walker is a good exercise. Bruce had this actually, and he worked with this. And so you use this according to your techniques. Okay, and with legs it's much more difficult. Okay, what you can do with legs is you can use his weights. Okay, here. Okay. Or I have different ones. This one, sorry, I can see because it's black. So these you put around here, calf. Okay, so this a bit higher. It's not as heavy, but when you put this on, okay, when you put this on, yeah, I look fit, right? When you put this on, then you can, because it's not as heavy as the other ones, and it's not as low on the leg. It doesn't pull so much on the knee. So I like this more. You can you know, you put them on. You put them on, and you train footwork, how you move, okay, and here, and you can also train kicks. You can train high kicks. You can train low kicks. Everything. But when you train with weights on the legs, watch for your joints. Okay, so watch always for your joints. Using rubber for legs, it's doable, but I don't like it very much because, I mean, it's hard to find a fixing point for the rubber. Okay, so where do you put it on? So you can, if you have like technically somewhere on the wall, you know, where you can put it, and then you put the leg in, and then you go like this. Okay. You could do that, right? So, or with resistance, kicking, punching with resistance. What I do also is here. I have this this upper body. It's the West, right? So you can put up to 30 kilos, and these are the weights that go in. That's 1 kilo per weight. It's like 2.2 pounds, and it's like over 60 pounds you can put in this vest, and you can put it on, and then you put the weights on the legs, and then you take this in the hands and you punch with weights. Okay, snap, which I don't do as much at the moment because of my lower back. Okay, so and that's what you can do. And then these weights, I use these weights for punching. Okay, so it's like 1 additional kilo, and then I punch, go here, back fist straight, sometimes hooks, and just training snapping. Okay, and that really makes you fast. This makes you fast. So you stand here in front of your opponent, you go here, and you punch him instead of going here, boom, 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 boom. Okay? You go like fencer. So that's what you can do. There are tons of things you can do, really. I have spent really a lot of time here upstairs, right? So on the computer, training. It's like my working place, right? So I want to, like always, I want to make it more efficient. So I have more room, this desk and this chair there, my old chair. So I bought this one because that other one was actually too small for me. So, and the small desk, I want to clean it up and put all the, tasks stuff on there and keep it more clean here. So, yeah, Tommy used to repeatedly lift up his whole body weight while wearing that jacket. I know. But Tommy's body weight with jacket is like me owned that jacket. Almost at this moment. No, I'm losing weight. I'm still cutting down all the extra fat. So calf weight, yeah, I like this much more. I have bought it from. I show you. So what I did, okay, looks like this. Okay, so then you put it around your lower leg, okay, and then you have weight in there. It's wait a second. So it's these strips. Okay, so that's the weights what was inside. But it had only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 per leg. 7 of these per leg. So I found it too light, and I said, my dad, can you make me another 14 of these, or 7 per leg additional? Because you can fit in one of these. You know, when you put one here, you can fit actually 2. And then he made another 14 of these. So I put these 2. So per leg 14. So it's almost as double as heavy as it is actually originally. So, when my dad is like this, so I tell him, can you do this for me? Can you build this for me? Then he does that. So I don't know what's the weight of it. It's over 3 pounds, I guess. So, but you because it's not that heavy, you can train longer times with this. I haven't used this for quite a while, but I'm gonna start use this because my motivation now is to lose weight. And when I train too heavy, I tend to eat more, and then I don't lose any weight. So I want to lose the weight first before I start to train really hard on isometrics and weightlifting again. And so that's the plan. That's the plan. What I'm gonna do. And this rope, So this is like standard rope you can find in sports halls. Okay, you can buy this on Amazon. My daughter was this. She did that. You know, she twisted it open, and once you do that, you can't fix it anymore. The good thing about this, it's light. I mean, it has its weight to it. So when you punch it, okay, right? And when you kick it, you have pretty good feedback. So I like to use it more than paper target. And you can because it's round, right? I can put like a weight, so it doesn't flip all the time. So because it's round, you can use a side kick, you can use inverted hook kick, you can use a hybrid kick, you can use a normal hook kick. You can kick it from all sides. You can also punch it from all sides. You can also use a finger jab, and same with the left hand. Okay. So that's why I like this. You can train everything on that. Okay. Yeah, it just doesn't move. But if you want to move, okay. So if you want, you have to move. So if it doesn't go away, so you want to move it like this. So let's say you want to train, you punch, and the opponent moves away, then you kick. Then you start further away, you punch, and then you kick again. You go here. You punch and you kick again, right? And you can go here, you punch, you go to the left, you go here, and you go with the hook, okay? So many options. You can use footwork. You can combine even the bag with the rope. You punch the bag, you kick the rope, or vice versa. So you can go here, you can go here, 1, 2. Right, so it's like opponent moves back. So that's what you can do. So many things you can do, and do your reps. Then you're gonna look slick, and you're gonna look fast, and you're gonna be fast, and you're gonna be relaxed when you do all these things. What does trampoline improve? Okay, so what you can do on trampoline. Let me put my shoes on. So, you can use trampoline for, believe me or not, for footwork. Okay. It's too tight. I'm gonna do it without some shoes. Okay, let's go. So here. Okay, I have to watch where I stand. So here, right? So when you're here, you can here go on the heartbeat, 1, 2, and then you punch here on the heartbeat. You can kick, punch, kick, okay? You can go here and here, okay? You can go 1, 2, you can go here, 1, 2, okay? And switch back. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? You can switch between the punches and kicks, okay? And this is like running. So when you do this 1, 2, 3 minutes, this is exhausting. And you combine it with transitioning from kicking to punching, or kicking, or punching, or 2 legs, 1 leg, 1 hand, 2 hands, okay? So you don't have to run. You do this, and you still train your techniques, right? So I think it's enough for today. 40 minutes ago, yeah, true. So guys, okay, so you know my PayPal. Send me 50 euro every one of you for this lessons. Yeah, okay. So you know the guys. The thing is, the guys watch my channel or they see me or whatever, and they just see the result, but you don't see the training behind it and everything. You have to put a lot of coke in this, yeah? Right? I'm just joking. You have to put a lot of time in this. Like I said, it's not enough just to train in the school. Go train for 1.5 hours in the school. Basically, you train just 45 minutes because you switch always with your training partner. You have to train additional. Yeah, Bruce didn't train in school. He trained all the time, and you can do this if you can somehow train at home. Okay, right? Do you ever train with Tommy? Well, I see Tommy usually before pandemic 2 times a year, but I don't train with him like a training partner or something. He just teaches us. Okay, so that's what happens. That's. I like to be here upstairs when it's everything in order. But my kids they tend to make a mess here. I hate this, but you know, when you have kids, it's like what it is. Okay, the raw better substitute for paper, absolutely. I don't use paper anymore since I use this, and I use this since 10 years or something. You can snap, you can power. You have when you put gloves. Do I have my gloves somewhere? No, they're. Oh, I have. Wait a second. So you can use like boxing bag gloves. Okay. So I always use an inside glove because of the sweat. Because it's disgusting when you sweat in the gloves. I hate that. So you know, you put the gloves, and you can go here. So now you can go here, right? And you can go here and snap your punch. You can go move, snap. You can go even here. You can go from here to here. Okay. You can go from here to back fist and move back. Okay. You can go here and snap here. Okay. So with the glow, I mean, it gives a better sound feedback. Okay. So that's the thing with the glows and the stuff. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, we do train and we do kick and punch, and we know how to move and everything. Maybe next stream we're gonna take a subject and talk about it where we can show stuff. Okay, then I'm gonna keep it like more clean. I want to move the how you say the guitar box and the amplifier. I want to move it to this side, so it's and a small like a commode is going to come there. So old school DVDs and stuff. So and the music. This Sony, I don't know if you can see it. This Sony stereo CD and cassette player. I bought this 1995 back then for 500 Deutsche Mark, back 550 or something. It's like what, 30 years old, right? 2025, it's gonna be 30 years old. I bought it 1995 in MediaMarkt when I was 16 years old, right? So, okay guys, Jack, all I have is Sentry Bob and heavy bag and mirror. You look like you're itching to get back to training. Yeah, I trained this I was out of training for 4 weeks when we were in holidays, and I started training this Tuesday. I trained 3 times, and I was today in the gym. So tomorrow I'm continue training. Now Marshall is gonna stay here, but just going in a different place of the room here. So I tried to sell Marshall, and I tried to sell the amplifier. Nobody wanted to buy it, so I kept it. I wanted to sell it. Yeah, guys. So, see you next time. Okay? Keep training.